Good morning. Here's my second day journey in full day that I have in Jordan. Yesterday, we visited Petra. It was very interesting to kind of understand the size and the strength of these rocks, and how you can carve a city in the rocks, and how many steps are there? Oh my God! Definitely glad that took a little donkey, poor donkey, to take us all through these steps, Nestor and I, but it was worth it. I remember as I was coming down these steps, just praying and saying, I know this is not the end because God has something better for me. He has a plan and this is not it. So, my trust and belief in him was amazing. And, woke up today very early in the morning and got to start my readings. So as I am doing this here in Jordan, I'm thinking, sharing, kind of just had an amazing day. And there was a message from Maida that my protection from God would be impacted today, would be yesterday, would be impacted by people that do not want me to be in this journey that I'm in because they don't understand it, or they'd rather have the person that I was. And, as I got back to the hotel, I felt that. I felt that so strong. I felt attacked spiritually. And I mentioned it to her, and she, of course, I prayed right away, left the room, and God just did something really amazing. He provided the view into what I believe is the future for me. And it's this interesting ministry, a weird ministry, a ministry where we help find paths towards the love of Jesus. We'll call him the Pathfinder. But, we sat in the evening talking about that, coming up with a name, coming out with a mission statement, coming out with a method, coming out with how to start, where do we start, the series, videos, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, how the attack right away was turned into more love for Jesus. I'm just like, and I just can't wait to share the readings today with you because, I realized that, you have to understand that people that don't know about God, or that know the basics or the book knowledge of God, not the spiritual knowledge, just believe in the humanity more. And when they believe in humanity more, no matter what you say about God to them, or what they see God's doing with you, they don't understand it. They just can't agree with it, and they just think you're going crazy. So it's interesting. It's interesting. They're not attacking because they want something bad to happen to you. They're just not attacking because they don't understand. They don't understand. And yes, as we were talking about this Pathfinder ministry, we're talking about finding these lost souls. We were joking about all these people that are just not, we're looking for the big fish that are going to, that are lost, completely lost. They believe they cannot come to Jesus. They are convinced completely that they cannot. They believe that they're forgotten in that world and they deserve to be forgotten. And we at the Pathfinder group, we want them to find the path. And the path is simple. It's a simple method. It's brutal honesty. Tell complete truth. All the time. All the time. Even if it hurts. Tell the truth. Love Jesus. Through the word, live the word, and love him. Right? You're going to put these lenses on. You're going to kind of live your life every day, and you're going to love him. Because you know that he loves you, and he loves you unconditionally. He loves you forever, no matter what you do, and he forgives. And you have to love him. And then, third part is you have to keep filling up your tank. You have to have a method. It's like this diary for me. It is my method to fill up every day and to get closer to him. You have to do it every day. It cannot be once a week. It cannot be every night, prayer. No, it has to be every day and filling it up very aggressively. You have to give time to him. He deserves the time. He will give you the time. And once you go through that, then you can be in the army of the Pathfinders and help mentor people find their paths. And it's not a church. It's not a location. It's not a congregation. It is people that come in and out. They come in, they get the help they need, and then they keep seeking that help. You're not going to find everything in just one person. There's no Jesus. Only Jesus could do that. So you got to keep evolving, keep finding, keep looking. So we're thinking, this whole remote kind of virtual view of, sharing the word for those that want it. And they will look for you, not you looking for them. So it was like the attack, the doubt just confirmed the plan more, because the devil is working us hard on trying to do things, but Jesus already won. I mean, he has nothing. So with that said, we go into the readings of today, right? Again, I got everything kind of set up, drank my coffee, got my teas, lost something yesterday for my teas. By the way, I like to kind of recognize that JJ believes that he came up with the word path of Pathfinder, but Nestor was one that came up with Pathfinder. And I was so proud of that, and so proud that we were discussing it. And it's not about recognizing one over the other, but we'll talk about that in a little bit about when we talk about legacy. So in my first reading right here, hit at legacy, right? It comes up in today's reading that what do you leave behind? We spend so much time focus on work, on, how life is just, requesting our time to do things. But at the end, those things, when we die, those things that request our time now, are they going to be sad when we leave, or they'll just replace us with somebody else that will fill that time? JJ's boss died most recently, and they already are working on replacement right away. He invests a lot of time in the job, but maybe by the end of next week they already have a new boss, and they'll move on. His wife, his children will miss him. forever, right? How much time did he dedicate to his children, to that legacy? That's the true legacy, right? So, God's showing me this, right? I'm on this journey. Nestor's with me. We're already talking about how he can handle some of this ministry elements for moderating, giving advice on social media. And, it's, he's perfect, right? So, and the children are not just your biological kids. It's those people, for instance, like JJ, those people that you care, love, they call them like a person that wants to share with you, So these people in our ministry, right, that want to share with us will be like our children, right? And that's why we got to invest that time with them. I know these videos are becoming longer and longer for some reason, but that was of the first reading, the first, right, smack in the face, the legacy I'm going to live behind. Then I go into the table with Jesus, and the day 16 reading is, Jesus saves us from evil. What? He talks about Beelzebul, right? How that's the one that possesses people, right? And how when Jesus was working on earth, they would say, oh yeah, he could take demons out because he is part of Beelzebul, right? He is part of that. He could do it because he's that. And he was like, how can that be? If that's true, we already lost. We already lost to him. JJ just joined, so this is going to be interesting having him. But we were almost at the beginning. So the Beelzebul, right, on here is the one that lets you control the demons. So you cannot fight demons with demons, right? You can't. So they knew they were talking crap about Jesus using the demon powers to take demons out. He could only use it with God's power. And that is the truth. And they knew it, and they just didn't accept it. So yesterday, as I was getting these attacks, I knew that, what are you going to do? You're going to go back to like, oh, wow, we got to use evil things. You got to use whatever, santeria. You got to use whatever you call it. No, you use this. God. That's it. There's nothing else. You can't going to fight demon with demons. So it's so crazy. That comes up right there. It talks about Beelzebul, right? It's right there. And it's very clear. Now I move on to talking about my friend Matthew McConaughey, right? Matthew McConaughey says more time, right? He talks about more time. He says, 2 a.m., I just paid my tab at the bar. I'm flying high because I just got paid in 2009. My checks, I don't have to sign, right? He is up there, right? He's not in the red yet. And then he comes in and says, he met a woman that he liked, became his friend. He thought, turned them into lovers. And at the end, he said, it probably is going to be forever. Her eyes became lighter. And at the end, there's no shine in the love. And sometimes living early just gives you more time. So I thought it was interesting, right? It's like, shit, at that time, he found a woman, the woman he fell in love, he thought it was the one, to then see for himself that the eyes didn't shine. Why didn't it shine? Because they have God, right? The eyes did not shine anymore. So sometimes you could leave early and you get more time. Isn't that cool? You get more time leaving early, not staying late. Anyway, and then he comes up to say, with or without us, the future's happening. So tune in. What are you going to do? You're going to just let the future happen, and you're going to do something about it. And that's what we're doing with this thing. We got to do something with what we're learning. You know, in Pathfinders, that's how it looks. We got to help them find the path, right? So then I come to the big book, and the big book on Luke 11. Luke 11, crazy. It talks Jesus and Beelzebul. I'm like, what? What are you telling me? And it's the same story I just said, right? He just told, he said, and I marked this yesterday, randomly. I took this little sheet, I closed my eyes, I marked it, and I said, that's what I'm going to read tomorrow. And I read it, and it was just about that. Casting out demons, only with God. Only with God. And that's why we're going to go after those lost souls. We're going to go after those only with God, with the truth, with Jesus' love, with the clear understanding of that you have to be committed every day to filling up your tank, because the devil is working just as hard around us, just as hard, right? So, long message, lots to say. Thanks to everyone that, is there with me along the way. Looking forward to continue to help find the path, my path first. And, this great journey. Very happy. God bless.